There are so many different resources out there to help you build your confidence because there are so many ways. No one builds their confidence in the same exact way. That's why I love all of these resources, because your journey to build your confidence isn't going to be the exact same way as it was for me. Hello, my love. Welcome back to Arouse for another episode. And if you're new around here, welcome. My name is Sam. I am your host and personal life coach for today's episode. I am spilling the tea on 8 essential confidence resources you need to check out, and make sure to stay tuned to the end because I'm sharing 4 bonus ones. I know this is what you're here for, so let's get into it. Warning: the following presentation is intended for mature audiences. It includes stigma topics like sex, addictions, mental illness, adult dialogue, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, my love, I am so excited to share these with you because I wish that someone would have shared these with me when I was building my confidence. And this doesn't matter where you're starting in your confidence journey. I can probably guarantee you're starting at a better point than I was when I was struggling with my eating disorder, and in addition to being in a toxic and abusive relationship with my boyfriend at the time. Number 1 is Unfuck Your Brain. This book is written by Faith G. Harper, and it's about using science to get over your anxiety, depression, anger, freakouts, and triggers, which I found very helpful for myself because I have anxiety, I have depression, I used to have a crazy bad anger issue, and although I have moved through a lot of my anger issues, I still have a little bit of a temper. It's not as bad as it was, but this book also helped me move through some of those issues as well with my anger. So this one is such an incredible resource, especially if you struggle with mental health in any of those areas like I did. I found this book very helpful. Number 2 is The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. And this one is probably one of my favorites. It is a practical guide to your personal freedom. And these were 4 rules or 4 agreements that you're supposed to have with yourself that I wish someone taught me back in junior high, if not back in grade school or elementary school. Because these are things that school is never going to fucking teach you. I never learned this from anyone ever except from this book. So Don Miguel Ruiz is a fucking genius. And I still reread this book at least once a year because there are so many golden nuggets in this. And I have written in it, I have made notes, folded pages over, and highlighted a bunch of parts that were really important for me to stick to later on. So this is also an incredible resource that I also recommend. Number 3 is the Quantum Creatrix podcast with Kiki Ray. And Kiki is a fellow coach in the industry that I have befriended a couple years ago. I love her to pieces. She is the manifestation queen, but I also love her podcast because there are so many golden nuggets in there that don't just have to do with manifestation, but it also helps to build your confidence in other areas as well, which I talk about a lot. Hence, we are still in the Boost Your Confidence series here in the podcast. I talk about so many different areas on where you can build your confidence, because where you build your confidence in one area of your life, you're going to build confidence in all areas of your life later on, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. This is not something that you're taught. I learned this from another coach in the industry, that if you feel like you're stuck in your own circumstances and in your life, it's because the way that we make a decision for even one small thing in our life, it's how we make a decision for everything else. You need to bring awareness to that and then change the way that you think and make decisions in order to change your life. By changing the way that you think, by reading some of the books that I'm recommending or listening to some of the podcasts or other free resources that I'm including in this episode, are going to help you create the life that you really want and live on your own terms rather than living for other people, which I have been guilty for most of my life. And now that I'm living more for myself, I have never been happier. Number 4 is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. This book is also an incredible resource. I really, really love this one as well. It's how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life, which I felt was huge for me. This was still, like I'm going to say, a great resource. And it really challenged me to believe more in myself, which is what it's all about with your confidence. So this book actually helps you realize your confidence in areas where you were like, oh, I never really thought about, being good in this area of my life. But that book helped me realize that as well. So even though I am the queen of confidence here on the podcast, but I still like to include other resources from other people that also help me build my confidence, because I started from nothing and I had to learn from all these other people as well as build confidence within myself, which I do have my own frameworks, but of course I didn't do it all by myself. So that's why I love to include other resources that helped me build my confidence too. Number 5 is TED. So TED Talks on YouTube. This is a free resource as well. And same thing with all podcasts. They're all free. So you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to buy a book or an ebook, even though ebooks can be very economical for your budget, because you're paying a fraction of the price because you're getting a digital download. And with these TED Talk videos on YouTube, you can subscribe to the TED channel because they have so many different videos. It's not just about confidence. They talk to you about absolutely everything, even things that are scientific, which are fascinating as well. But you can build your confidence just by watching some of their videos. And I continue to watch TED Talks as well because it also builds my knowledge and my experience too. You never stop working on yourself. Number 6 is also another resource from YouTube. It's called Mind Valley Talks. I love this one because it's more in the spiritual realm. I love to talk about being spiritual and meditating. So this channel has those videos as well. And it also gives you another aspect of thinking, similar to Kiki's podcast as well. There's the topic of manifestation. Mind Valley has similar things like that. But there's a variety of other topics because they have different experts coming in to speak on their specific niche and their expertise. So it gives you a wide variety of different videos and experts to learn from as well. Number 7, I love this one. So this is another free resource, and this requires a little bit more work on your end, but it's researching your zodiac sign. For myself, I've purchased a couple books. I've done so much research on the internet, on YouTube, on Google, Pinterest. But learning more about my zodiac, although not 100% of it may resonate with you, but it's going to give you a little bit more intel on who you are, maybe the way that you function or think, because a friend of mine is a Taurus, and specifically Tauruses are very, very stubborn. And a couple Tauruses that I've met and even dated, they have all had that quality, which is interesting. But not every Taurus is going to be very stubborn or going to encompass all of the characteristic traits that are included in that zodiac. However, you are going to learn more things about you. And I definitely think this is a great resource for you. Whether you believe it or not is your choice, because you may just think, hey, Sam, I'm a Cancer and I don't believe anything about Cancers. I'm not really into zodiac signs. And that's fine. This is just another way to get more intel on yourself if you are open-minded to zodiacs. But if you're not, then you'll appreciate some of the other resources that I talk about in this episode. Number 8 is it can be a free resource and it can also be a paid resource, depending how you do this, and it's journaling. So of course, I'm going to get very technical and be a TED here from How I Met Your Mother, but we pay for our phone, we pay for our iPad, whatever tablet or computer that you have, or you have to pay for pens and paper and journals to write in. So to a point, you do have to pay to use the resources that you have. But to do the journaling yourself, you can literally just journal about how your day is going. And I know you might be thinking, Sam, how the fuck is journaling going to help me with my confidence? Believe me, there are so many different ways to journal, and it can help you build confidence in so many different areas of your life. Whether you're a writer or not, it actually does help your writing. It helps you think more critically when you journal, because you're writing out everything that happens, potentially thinking about a solution, or you're just getting that off your chest, which is great for your emotional intelligence, as well as getting things out. So you're not holding on to them and having them harden your heart and make you feel worse and just bottle up all those feelings until something very minuscule happens and you blow up at someone that you're not actually mad at, but you've been holding all these emotions in forever that, then you explode on someone. I've been guilty for that in my life many, many times. Journaling has helped me not do that. I don't really blow up at people anymore because I journal more. I obviously do a gratitude journal almost every day. And just doing those simple things, not even using journal prompts, can be so beneficial for you and building your confidence as well. Resource number 9 goes with journaling. So I just talked about that in the previous point, but this is a paid resource. So this is my Confident AF card deck and journal. So we just talked about journaling and how beneficial it can be just to write about how your day was or whatever's on your chest that you need to get off of it. What I love about my Confident AF card deck and journal is there's no wrong way to use it. I have gone through the journal several times through several different parts of my life, and I found that it has been beneficial for every single part, whether it's been a breakup, whether I've just felt some imposter syndrome creep in, or if I'm in a relationship and I feel really good about myself, I'm still continuing to build my confidence. The journal itself has 45 prompts. And like I said, I love my journal and card deck so much because there's no wrong way to ever use it. And I've gone through the journal, whether I've just picked a card randomly or I've gone through it from 1 to 45 in a row. And I found that either way has been very beneficial. I do like to do both different versions, like each of them have a different place in my heart and building my confidence. But at the end of the day, it's still building your confidence. And by having journal prompts to really help pull out certain things, it can be more beneficial in certain times where you need that push rather than when you're just journaling about your day, because sometimes I feel like that doesn't challenge me. But when I have a journal prompt to work with, whether it's in one of my own products that I continue to work on myself or other journals that I have purchased, I still find that it pulls out different things out of me than if I were to just journal about whatever comes up in my head. Number 11 is my Body Confidence Queen ebook. This one is a very economical ebook to purchase, and these are the steps that I have taken myself when I was recovering from my eating disorder and my body dysmorphia that I wish that someone told me on how to come back to my confidence, because I can guarantee there was a time when you were 3, 4, 5, or 6 years old when you were so confident in yourself. And this was because you were your true authentic self. As you grow older, society and people teach you, oh, well, you need to tone yourself down. You're too much. Or they're telling you in magazines, the tabloids, in any sort of media, especially social media now that has become a huge thing in the internet. It's telling you, oh, well, you're not beautiful unless you look like this. Even though body positivity is a thing, there's still a lot of negativity towards women that have a full figure. And this doesn't matter what your body size is. It actually has nothing to do with it when building your confidence when you go through my ebook, but I love this one so much. And I will keep the link in the show notes so you can access it if you would like to purchase it. Just kidding. The last one was number 10. This one's number 11. And this one is my Healthy Boundaries ebook. So this one is similar to my Confidence Queen ebook. However, this one teaches you how to create healthy boundaries within your life. You can create healthy boundaries within your relationship with your romantic partner, in friendships, with your family, with coworkers, with your boss, and also creating healthy boundaries within yourself. Because I've been there where I've overworked myself, been overwhelmed, burnt out, and that's because I had no healthy boundaries for myself. And I let all these other people walk over me and never knowing when to say no because I felt like I couldn't. And so this ebook that I've created has gone through all the steps that I've taken myself that I had to learn the hard way and the long way on how to create healthy boundaries within all areas of my life so that you can do that too, so you don't risk getting overwhelmed and burnt out and you can get off the unhealthy relationship train, whether it's with a romantic partner, friends, family, coworkers, your boss, and with yourself. So I will also leave the link to that in the show notes if you would like to purchase that. And resource number 12 is another free resource, and this is kind of like 2 resources in one. Whether you've been on the journey with the podcast for forever or not, you know that I release these all over on different platforms. So obviously the podcast is pretty much a free resource on itself, but the real resource that I wanted to include as well is my YouTube video library. So this is free, obviously, because it's on YouTube. Not only do I have every single one of my podcast episodes published onto YouTube as well, but I have other episodes and videos from way back when I was a nutrition and a health coach. And I have actual YouTube videos as well that are not just audio from my podcast, as well as some interviews that I've done with some guest experts as well. So there are so many different resources on YouTube, and I'm continuing to add more and more videos as well as podcast episodes as well, so that you have a huge library to work with. So those are the 12 essential confidence resources you need to check out. Which one was your favorite? Let me know by leaving a comment. If you're on YouTube, send me an email at samanthapopcoaching@gmail.com. Or you can screenshot this episode, tag me on social media, and let me know what was your favorite part of today's episode. I love hearing from you and getting feedback on what were some golden nuggets that you loved from each episode. Don't forget to subscribe or follow me, and stay tuned for my next episode. I love you so much, and I will see you there.